Hey everybody, welcome back once again to Welch's Math class. We are continuing on with some of our information on statistics. We're going to spend a few minutes now looking at a special bar graph, special type of a bar graph called a histogram. A histogram. Notice that it looks just like a typical bar graph right here. We have our scale on the left side. We have our categories along the bottom, but it is a specialized bar graph. The scale is really no different. In this case, the scale is a particular number of employees. Remember, this histogram shows the number of part-time and full-time employees in each salary range for the Tickle Time Pickle Factory, and it asks how many employees earn $46,000 to $55,000 yearly. And so it gets a little different across the bottom here, whereas instead of having just categories across the bottom, we have broken down the salaries of these folks who work at this place into salary ranges. So we have a certain number of people who make between $6,000 and $15,000 a year. We have another number of people who make $26,000 to $35,000 per year. Notice that these salary ranges are in terms of thousands of dollars. So the question comes down to, what's the number of employees in the $46,000 to $55,000 salary range? Okay, so looking here, this is $46,000 to $55,000 salary range. The number of employees is going to fall right over in here. Little difficult to read, but I'm going to say that that is either 4 or 5. I'm going to call that 4, and let's see if that turns out correct for me. And it is. You have to be careful reading these now. They can get a little tricky. So we see that there are 4 employees who make in this range. All right. Let's go a little farther with histograms to give you another look. Now this is the actual construction of a histogram. This is some data listed here, and this data consists of 20 students and how much they paid for textbooks in the fall semester. Okay, so these are the amounts in dollars that these students paid for textbooks. Alright, so what we're going to do first is create some ranges here. So how many of the students, what frequency, or how many of the students paid between $10 and $19.99, between $10 and $19.99 for their books? As we look over here, I'm looking. Here's one. Okay, so there's one. So I only see one student who paid between 10 and 19. Now, between 20 and 29, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students. All right, so 5 students who paid between 20 and 29. Then between 30 and 39, it looks like, looking for the 30s now. Here's 1, 2. So I'm seeing 2. And in the 40s, who paid in the 40s for their textbooks, 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to say 3 paid in the $40 range for their textbooks. In the 50s, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5. 5 students paid between $50 and $59.99. And then down here in the $60 range, none here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. I tell you what, those are some cheap textbooks. I don't know where they're buying their books, but I sure need to find out, because goodness, that's a good deal on textbooks they're getting. All right, now to check myself here before I commit to this, I know that there's 20 total students. I want to make sure that these numbers I put in here add up to all 20 students, that I didn't leave anybody out or count anybody twice. So 1 and 5 is 6. That's 8. 8 and 3 is 11. 11 and 5 is 16 and 4 is 20. So there's 20 accounted for, so I can be fairly confident that I got that straight. So that's my frequency. And now the question is, all right, does the question is, does my histogram match my data? Does it match my data? Well, according to my data here, there's only one here in the A range, the 10 to 1999. Then there was 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 20 to 29, and that's what I've got here. And then 2, and that looks like that's 2. And then 3, and that looks like that's 3. And then 5 again, and then 4. I'd say yes, that the length of these bars line up very well in their frequencies and their as far as how many was in each price range here, or in each purchase cost amount is how many students in each one of those ranges. I'd say yes, it matches. Check that, final check, and we have just used that to construct a histogram. Alright, and then you've got a couple more that you'll construct, and so on. Okay guys, well, get to it. Enjoy your time looking at histograms, work on some of those, and next thing we'll be talking about are mean, median, and mode, these measures of central tendency. So I will catch you on the flip side. Have fun.